and welcome to KJ's Kitchen. I am KJ. I'm 14 years a master fitness trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, and most important to me, I am a happy mom serving up healthy meals from my kitchen to yours every Wednesday at 12 o'clock Eastern on Facebook. Thanks for joining today. I am so excited. We have a friend joining me today, Francesca Vasquez. No, I need you to stay here while I introduce. Francesca and I, we were together a couple days ago.
Yes.
And she said, KJ, you have got to make a recipe for me. So she put me to a challenge and I accepted. So today's recipe is all thanks to Francesca. Now she does work for my husband's company and we are going to talk a little bit about that through the segment. But she's here because she's going to be doing her own live footage from there. So I just wanted to introduce you because she's amazing and she needs to take credit for this original recipe. Okay, thank you, honey.
Thank you, so excited.
And so let me tell you, I did say calling all chocolate lovers for a reason because this is going to be really getting your sweet tooth satisfied without the guilt. Now that is my method, is I want you to live your life and I'm going to just teach you a few awesome things for practical up-leveling of your health. So we will be making chocolate chip cookies with a twist. And this twist is going to help in so many ways. I'm infusing the health into the twist of these chocolate chip cookies. Let's start with one of those twists. And I like to start with this intentionally in case you drip too much. We're gonna be using an essential oil. This is peppermint essential oil. And now I want you to be sure where you're shopping from your oils, you are actually getting a very high grade oil. This one, it comes from Isogenics. That's actually my partner company, high integrity ingredients. It says the word supplement on it. So do not ingest essential oils that do not have the word supplement or have a nutritional label involved. Otherwise, you could really hurt yourself. It's beyond organic. We're gonna do 3 drops. And this is why I say to start with it, because 1, 2, 3, you do not want more than 3 drops. So had I dropped like 6 drops in there because it moves quickly, I would have had to kind of swipe it out, wipe it out, and start again. I really urge you to count 3 drops only. If a 4th one gets in there, it's just gonna be extra minty. Okay, and we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. This is organic heavy cream, and I recommend organic because you get the natural occurring trace minerals, and it doesn't have weird additives like polysorbate 80 and all the weird stuff that you'd see in non-organic heavy creams. I'm gonna give that a little whip around really quickly if I can uncatch this guy. Woo! All right, and I'm just getting that essential oil really distributed and immersed into the cream. Doesn't take long, just make sure it's mixed. And while I'm at it, I'm setting my oven to 300. Now, I know you cook cookies typically at about 350 or 375, but I'm gonna teach you why we're going 300 in a second. Now we're going to cream in the sugar, but not refined sugar. I've got a 1/2 cup of room temperature butter. And let's talk about quickly, I didn't have time to let this sit all day because I forgot it and I ran away and forgot it completely. So you can put a 1/2 cup of butter into the micro for about 10 seconds and it will get soft and room temperature-ish. We do not want it to get melted and we want to cream in the sugar. Not using real sugar, we're doing coconut palm sugar. This one comes from Trader Joe's and it is organic. Woohoo! Score on that. We're doing 3/4 cup of coconut palm. Here's my 1/4 cup. I'm going 1, 2, and 3. 3/4 cup. We're gonna dismiss him. And I'm just gonna first get my little blender and get just those 3 ingredients in there, mixed well. Cream up the sugar and butter. Get it nice and mixed, guys. Especially that oil, you really want to get distributed so you don't bite into just one cookie that tastes like you put 1 drop of peppermint in there. Okay, I'll give you a little peek at what that looks like. That is nice and well creamed. Do you see this? Delish. And now we're gonna go for egg. So I want you, we're gonna actually, before I do the egg, don't get me wrong here, talk about why these are what I would even consider to be miracle cookies. When I said that they will help you take the stress away, we are going to be adding in CBD. If you're not familiar with what CBD is, it is the part of the hemp plant that is the non-THC and non-terpene of the plant. This is a broad spectrum hemp-based product my husband creates with his company. This is Everyday Optimal. This one particular is 300 milligrams, and the entire thing is 1 fluid ounce or 30 milliliters, and that would be 2 tablespoons. Hello. We're just gonna put that puppy in there. So the magic of this CBD can help with inflammation. It can assist with anxiety. It can assist with so many things. Like people have used it for so many different reasons, from better sleep, helping with pain. And so it really goes to work at helping you with what you need in your life. And what I notice most from a lot of friends and myself is it really helps cut the edge, and it brings like a chill to your life. So these are your chill pill chocolate chip cookies. And now ours has a natural mint flavor, hence why I'm doing the mint infusion. Give her a little mix around, again, just to distribute the oil. That was really quick and easy. I just want to kind of immerse, and I'm gonna add in 2 eggs. I went ahead and cracked them before you got here, so I don't have to get my fingers messy. And we're gonna whip her around too, and then we're gonna go into the dry ingredients. Very quickly. Scrape the sides. Give her a little whip. Since the eggs are in there, I really want to give her a nice mix. Get those eggs nice and fluffy. Now, what I love, these are no sugar because the coconut palm sugar does not raise glycemic index. So if you have any problems with your blood sugar, you would be okay. It doesn't spike blood sugar. 1/4 cup dark cocoa. This is different than regular cocoa. I do recommend dark because I think it really gives a nice addition to the mint, like a dark chocolate mint. It's so good, and it's chocolate on chocolate. I will be using chocolate chips, guys. That's a 1/4 cup there, and we'll go ahead and leave that guy off. And we're gonna do our dry ingredients of salt. Where did my vanilla go? Oh, it's right behind me. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I've got the bourbon vanilla from Trader Joe's, not because it's from a bourbon barrel, but it is from the area called Bourbon in France. Here we go. Double 2 teaspoons of that, and then we're gonna go into 1/2 teaspoon of each baking soda and salt. If you've ever followed me on KJ's Kitchen, you know I am a pink Himalayan sea salt advocate, adding more minerals into something that's going to taste the same as your regular salt, but deliver more minerals into your body. So why not upgrade your ingredients? 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, and that's it. So I'm gonna give this another whip around before I start adding in the flour, which is not flour at all. Giving the chocolate a little whip around to get that all immersed. Oh, it's so dark and rich with this dark cocoa. So good. So not too sweet. This isn't like a cup of sugar and a cup of flour and make a cookie, but with the chocolate chunks that I'm using, and that there is a mild amount of the coconut palm sugar in there, they taste sweet enough. Now, if you and your family need it sweeter, go ahead and add an extra 1/4 cup of that coconut palm sugar, but I really recommend doing as minimal as possible to create just a healthier version. And if it still is a family pleaser like it is in my family, you'll be good to go knowing you're helping your family stay a little bit healthier. Okay, so 1 step at a time, we're doing this almond flour. This is super fine. You can see that there from Trader Joe's. This is different than almond meal. Yes, if you use almond meal, not the end of the world, it would work. I like to have less graininess, so I'm doing almond flour. And we're gonna do 1 cup at a time. And again, just an easy blend each time just to get that distributed. You don't wanna put 3 cups in and then not be able to use your hand mixer. And it's not perfect, there's still a little crumb on the edges, but it's mixed well enough. I wish I had got my cord long enough that I could actually like keep it there. That would be my foul in the setup, but we're glad you're here regardless and watching all of my errors along the way. Okay, 1 more cup, it's not coming out. Give her a little shake, shake, and shout. Here we go, 1 more cup. We got 1 more to go. And you see it's all happening in 1 bowl. I like easy peasy. There we go. 1 more bowl, one bowl, 1 more cup. And we're gonna add in my favorite part, which is chocolate chips. There we go. And you don't need to overwork the dough. We've been mixing it the entire time, so it's just getting each ingredient worked in at each step. So it's not like you need to sit and like look at the clock and do a minute or 2 or anything. We're gonna get rid of that almond flour and do our final hand mixer segment here. We're gonna move into just stirring in the chocolate chips. Here's where you're gonna wanna scrape those sides of any loose flour you see, making sure we do get that final mix nice and thoroughly blended. That's it. There we go, get that hand mixer out of the way. You can take a look at this dough. Here, it's nice and thick. It's not going anywhere, okay? You're gonna take a nice close look at that. Oh, delicious, delicious. Okay, so now we're mixing in the chocolate chips. Yes, a cup of chocolate chips. These are actually chocolate chunks. So if you're not familiar with Trader Joe's, I love them. They're not in the shape of chips. They're in the shape of like chop up candy bar. I'm gonna go with a cup. We're gonna reserve the chocolate chips because we're gonna make them pretty on top. 1 cup. So like I said, there's not much sweetness in the dough, but with all these chocolate chunks throughout it, you take a bite, you're gonna get a chocolate chunk in every bite. This will satisfy your sweet tooth, all from semi-sweet chocolate chips. We're just gonna give her a little stir, get it all worked in, because you don't wanna get a cookie that only has 1 chip in it, right? So do try to distribute those chunks very nicely distributed. Now I like to use Silpat. You could use parchment paper for your cookies, and that would be up to you. I use a Silpat. I think it's easy, they're reusable, nothing's going in a landfill. I also use a standard size cookie sheet, so I have to do it in 2 rounds because this will create about 22 to 26 cookies depending on the size of your cookies. Now I did the math for 22 because that's what my batch created and they're decent sized, and that would be 13.6 milligrams of CBD per cookie. The reason we're using 300 degrees is because CBD has a certain heating point where it would no longer be effective. So you, if you're cooking with CBD, never want to go any higher than 300 in my opinion, because at 320, it can start to denature the CBD and it will not be as effective or effective at all. So we're going to get them in the oven at 300. I'm just gonna do tablespoons at a time, and I put them onto my Silpat. And each Silpat might, be about 12. So if you're really good at eyeballing, you might end up with 24 cookies, 12 and 12 on 2 sheets. It doesn't take long, just gonna distribute a little bit more. And I like the look of a cookie when it's flat like a cookie. If you don't kind of spread the dough out and make it flatter, it doesn't really flatten out in the oven. So you'll end up with more like cookie drops. So once you get the dough down, do take the time to just kind of spread it out a little. And that's that. I'm gonna put this guy, and I'm gonna show you when we top it, it makes it pretty. You're gonna top it with about 4 tablespoons for all of the cookies. So it's about 2 tablespoons of chocolate chunks per cookie sheet if you're doing it in small batches like myself. Rather than 4 on all these, you're gonna definitely be chocolate out. We're gonna separate those 4 tablespoons. Almost there. Put a few more on this pan because I know I got another pan coming. All right. And I'm doing a row of 4, a row of 3 and 3. Looks like I'm getting 3, 6, 9, 13 on this sheet. Is that right? 3, 6, 9. They don't really spread, so if you end up getting them nice and close, that's okay too. Not a problem. Right, here we go. And now you could eyeball what 2 tablespoons looks like. That's what I do. Or you can actually measure. But 2 tablespoons is about 1 and 2. That's about 2 tablespoons there, a nice small handful. And I kind of set them up so it's about 4 chunks, maybe 5 per cookie. Yes, you got the chunks inside. Here we go. But the chunks on top are gonna get a little melty and they make it really pretty. And you're gonna wanna get this in the oven on the center rack, just so that it gets evenly cooked. And you'll notice they're not gonna brown because they're so brown already. You're not really looking for a golden brown, but you will have them in the oven for around 20 minutes. If your oven cooks a little fast, just keep an eye maybe around the 15-minute marker. And if your oven is pretty standard or your altitude is pretty regular, look how chocolatey I'm getting. Is that delightful? If my daughter were here, she'd ask to like lick my palm. She loves chocolate so much. And you know, it's a little crazy to think of your child doing that, but you know, we get goofy around here sometimes. Okay, that's it. Check this out. See these beautiful chocolate chunk, right? That's what they're looking like. And we're gonna put those in the oven for 20 minutes, middle rack. And when they come out, ooh, they are, would you like to taste one with me?
Yes.
They are beautifully large cookies.
Oh.
And I do recommend eating them fresh. So you'd let them cool on a cooling rack. This is, you know, I made this recipe up last night. Check this out. I did have standard chocolate chips last night instead of chunks, but chunks are much more fun and I prefer. And they are...
Ready?
They are so good. Right? These cookies have a very delicate minty flavor. They are not like overpowered with mint. So if you're like, ooh, I don't love mint, you're not gonna get shy from this. This really, very subtle.
It's perfect.
They're soft. They're grainy. Would you ever guess there's no flour in there?
No.
No. You would never guess this is glycemic friendly and health infused. And being that this cookie, 13.6 milligrams of CBD, can actually like cut the edge off the day. Now, if you went for a second cookie, I will tell you, we do have a threshold for CBD. You might get so relaxed you'd wish for a nap. So do, when you're making these, know that there's a purpose for them. You might save them in the freezer and eat one a day. If you have a lot of friends who want to come over and enjoy them at a party or something, you would eat them fresh. You have about 26 of those or 22 of those. And that would be up to you how many cookies you can handle based on your receptors for CBD. Now, I'm going to be posting a link to my husband's company, The Everyday Optimal. And I will also be posting a one-time offer, KJ Kitchen code that will get you a discount. So this 300 milligram tincture at retail is about $40. With the KJ discount, anytime this week, you will be getting this for $30, guys. That is a $10 discount. And I will have all of my emailers, my link for my email, so you can get this recipe to your inbox. And you will never miss another KJ's Kitchen recipe here on. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that this served you. And please share it, love it, tag a friend who you know this recipe could serve. And really check out my husband's CBD line. It's super pure. We have such integrity, and we have had amazing testimonials how this has helped people. We really do consider this to be a miracle oil. If you're not interested in CBD, yes, you can do the entire recipe without it. I do suggest you adding 2 extra tablespoons of the heavy cream into the mix. Okay, thank you for joining me. You have a blessed and awesome Wellness Wednesday. Take care, guys. See you next week.